Welcome back, dear viewers. Tonight's story isn't just about fame and red carpets, it's about the kind of decision that can split a heart in two. Love, regret, duty, and a single line that might change two lives forever. We're stepping into a moment so private it almost feels like a whisper, yet it's echoing through an entire circle of friends, through the quiet corners of a family home, and through all the places where fans speculate about what they can't see. Before we begin, make sure you're subscribed to Whispers of Turkish Stars, hit the bell so you never miss a twist in our deep dive storytelling, and if you want to support what we do, consider joining our community. What we're about to unfold isn't loud. It's fragile. For months, tension had been building like a storm that refuses to break. Elsen Sangu, radiant and vulnerable all at once, had been trying to hold herself together through a pregnancy complicated not by doctor's charts but by emotions and long nights of what-ifs. Her heart had been stretched thin by grief and pressure that never took a day off. On the other side, Barış Arda carried his own stack of fears and could hardly look at a mirror without seeing what might have been his mistakes staring back. He felt like he'd lost the very thing he'd sworn to protect. But no one saw what was coming next. Away from flashes and whispers, in a living room where the curtains were pulled against the world, Barış stood face to face with the one person who could open a door or bolt it shut, Elsen's mother. The quiet wasn't calm, it felt like the air itself wouldn't move until someone found their voice. His words came out tight, as if pulled over thorns, and his eyes looked like they'd been awake too many nights. Then he said it. The sentence that has now become an anchor, a weight, and for some, a prayer. For the baby's sake, we should reconcile. It wasn't a cinematic moment. There were no violins playing, no triumphant nod to a happy ending. Anyone who knows Elsen's mother knows she's a fortress, a woman who protects her daughter with a fierce, unwavering energy, someone who has no patience for those who bring pain to her child. She listened, yes, but her silence didn't mean surrender. It carried a storm held at arm's length. Her gaze was steady, her shoulders unbowed. She didn't snap, didn't raise her voice. She simply watched a man try to find the right shape for regret, the right shape for hope, and weigh it against everything her daughter had endured. Barış didn't craft a perfect defense. He didn't sketch himself as a spotless hero. He spoke like someone terrified of losing his child before even learning the rhythm of their breathing. He acknowledged where he'd fallen short. He spoke of nights that didn't end, of fears that smelled like cold rooms and missed chances, of the aching awareness that he couldn't undo certain days. Again and again, his voice circled back to that sentence. For the baby's sake, we should reconcile. But what was it made of? Was it love wearing the clothes of guilt? Was it hope trying to stand tall in a crowded room of pressure? Was it a genuine desire for a family, or a bid to quiet the noise around them? The mind wants a neat answer. The heart rarely gets one. Let's pause here, family. What do you think? Is asking to rebuild a relationship because of a baby a noble act, or does it put an already hurting woman under another layer of weight? Is it romantic, realistic, or something else entirely? I want to hear it. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective matters, and tonight it's part of the story. People close to the family say the conversation wasn't wrapped in niceties. It was raw. It had edges. It called the past by its name. Elsen's mother reminded him of every night her daughter cried into a pillow when the world was asleep and the phone stayed silent. She listed unanswered calls like tally marks on a wall you don't want to face. She resurrected the moments when her daughter felt abandoned, not for the drama of it, but because the truth has a way of demanding to be said before you can decide what comes next. She didn't hold back, not because she wanted to destroy him, but because she wanted to clear the air of every ghost before anyone dared to speak about futures. And still, through the push and pull, through the memory of promises that had frayed, Barış kept returning to the same place. For the baby's sake, we should reconcile. Here is the danger everyone forgets when they put a glossy filter over the idea of getting back together. Reconciliation isn't an instant cure. It doesn't snap a finger and make scars disappear. It means reopening what was closed and trusted to heal. It means rebuilding trust brick by careful brick. While knowing you can't reconstruct the house you had before the storm, you can only build something new with whatever survived. It means facing the fact that the old version of love might be gone, and if something grows in its place, it will carry the shape of everything that happened. To start again, you accept that the shadows will come with you. When the conversation ended, there was no grand conclusion. Elsen's mother didn't grant a verdict. She asked for time. She asked him to stop reaching out to her daughter in ways that made the days heavier. She wanted the pressure dialed down, the noise muted. And so he left. Not victorious, not destroyed, just emptied in that particular way you feel when you tell the truth and remember that truth alone doesn't give you control. His footsteps down the hall sounded like someone walking away from a door that might never open again, or might open when the moon is different and the air smells like rain. Meanwhile, Elsen pulled into herself, like a shoreline at low tide. At first, she told her mother she didn't want to know what had been said. She wanted the day to be quiet, to belong to tea cooling on a table and a blanket tucked under her knees. But silence has its own kind of noise, and when the time finally came, her mother gave her the exact sentence. For the baby's sake, we should reconcile. She didn't cry. She didn't argue. She didn't even nod. She stared at the wall like it had a horizon painted on it and she was trying to find where the sky ended. To her, it didn't feel like a warm invitation back into love. It felt like a weight placed on top of an already heavy heart. It was hope colored by fear, a fork in the road she didn't ask for. It was a choice no mother-to-be should have to make while still stitching herself back together. Today, that single line sits at the center of everything. It holds love, regret, duty, and the not yet written pages of a child's life. And in the middle of it stands Elsen, strong, thoughtful, private. At a crossroads that will decide more than just the next season of her life. Does she step back toward Barış, accepting the labor of rebuilding so their baby wakes up under one roof, in one home, with two parents who have chosen to fight for peace? Or does she protect the fragile quiet she's finally found, even if it means two houses, two routines, two versions of family that meet in the doorway and promise to be kind? There is no simple map. There is only the road she can live with when the cameras go off. Public opinion, as always, is split down the center. Some call what Barış did brave, the move of a man who put a child first and laid his pride down. Others say the weight now sits unfairly on Elsen, that love can't be asked for like a favor, and that healing can't be scheduled to satisfy an audience. The truth might be less dramatic and more human. This is one of the hardest decisions a woman can face, and any answer will come with both light and shadow. There is tenderness in both choices, and there are risks in both as well. We're going to keep following this journey with care. We'll listen more than we speculate, and we'll keep bringing you the details that matter, not the noise that doesn't. If you were in Elsen's place, what would you do? Would you take his hand for the baby's sake and try to grow something new out of what was broken, or would you choose emotional steadiness over the idea of a traditional family, believing that a child can bloom in love even when it lives in two homes? Tell us in the comments. Support her story by sharing this video with a big like so it reaches those who understand how complicated love can be. Subscribe to Whispers of Turkish Stars so you don't miss what comes next, and consider joining our community if you want to keep this kind of deeply felt storytelling alive. Thank you for watching, and thank you for feeling this with us. There are no villains in some stories, only people trying to find their way through a maze built out of hopes and mistakes. Stay with us for the next chapter of this real-life drama, where a single sentence still trembles between a promise and a plea, and where two hearts decide how to hold a future that hasn't arrived yet. As always, we'll be here, listening to the quiet, and bringing you what we hear.